Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown of the nitrous setup I've got on my car here. I've got an NX wet shot plate kit that I'm running. You can see I've got the plate under here. It's a little hard to see, but it just sits right underneath the throttle body. And then I've got the fuel solenoid right here with the hard line connecting to that. And then I've got fuel pressure safety switch right here, which is just taken straight off of the fuel rail, which is obviously also where I'm drawing fuel for the fuel solenoid. And then taking you around the side here, I've got my window switch mounted right there, right off of the firewall. And then whipping around to the other side here, I've got, this is where my lines come into the engine bay. I've got my purge line, the 3AN line here, and then I've got my main nitrous feed line, which is the 4AN line here, and it kind of snakes under all that stuff. It's a little hard to see. I'll whip back around to the other side here. You can kind of see that ZEC solenoid. It's that yellow thing down there. I've got it mounted where the strut tower mounting location was, because that no longer fits with my plate, at least the stock one doesn't. And then I've just got the purge line run literally right up and barely it kisses the hood a little bit. You can see the paint there, and I've got it just running straight out from the hood because I haven't gotten around to remounting that. And then deep in there, you can maybe, well, you can't really, you can kind of see it, is the actual nitrous solenoid, and it's the same thing as the fuel one. It's got just the hard line going straight to the plate. Alright, and then switching to the inside here, I've got the main power to the whole nitrous system, which is just this light right here. And then I've got my bottle opener, bottle close switch. I've got my bottle warmer with the light down there so you can see, whoops, so you can see when it's on. Flip that off. I've got the purge button right here, which you should be able to hear it click. You can probably hear that. And then I've got this green light up here, which will tell me when my bottle reaches the correct pressure, because I don't actually have a pressure gauge anywhere here yet. I have all sorts of other gauges, but I haven't gotten around to buying one of those. Alright, and then coming here to the trunk, I've got my bottle heater blanket right here, and then I've got the pressure switch for that, so when it hits a certain pressure, you usually want to have it at about 1100 psi. It'll stop warming and you won't have to go back here and check the pressure yourself. Here's the bottle opener solenoid that I was talking about up front. And then obviously here's where, whoops, here's where you mount, here's where my bottle would be. I have it out right now because I'm moving a bunch of stuff around. I ended up needing little, I put little spacers underneath the brackets. It's not really necessary, but I just didn't like the idea of having my bottle warmer here basically just touching the carpet, because this thing gets several hundred degrees, and I really didn't want to have to deal with the potential of a fire hazard, on top of obviously there's a nitrous bottle there and the whole works. So just basically just an extra little safety thing. Then taking you to the underside here, this line, which is my main nitrous line. So I just went through a hole. There's these grommets in the trunk underneath the carpet that you can just remove or cut a hole through, and you run your line. And then I just kind of ran it through there. There's a few different ways you can route it, but that's the way I went. And then I put some heat shielding covering over it, because I didn't want it to wear through the line on this part right here. I guess I'll back up to give you guys kind of an orientation where we're at. There's the muffler, there's the rear end. So right, just, it's literally the trunk's literally just right up there. And then from there, pretty much just secured it the entire way, kind of snaked it around here. Again, this is like a couple feet of this heat guard stuff, because it is also close. The muffler's right here, and I just didn't want to have to deal with the potential issues with that. And then from there, try to focus a little bit, I got it to, basically I just used these little fittings and screwed it into the entire, let's move down the length here, screwed it into the entire side bracing this whole entire way, just about every foot or so. You can put more of them or less. You don't really have to go crazy with them, because I mean it's not gonna flex that much. And then I went try to get you a good angle. I went down and under the shielding here for the fender, and then all the way up there, and then I already showed you where it comes out on the top, and it's basically just a straight shot up there, and then, you know, add a few fittings in there if you need to kind of just hold it in place, because you don't want it flopping around too much in here. And yeah, that's pretty much it.